Okay, we have the green bars, we have the live counter sticking up, so we should now be live, which of course means welcome back to the Storytime Network. We're starting a little bit later, which is going to become the norm now, but we are here to play some D&D. We are not technically dead, but we certainly are in the right place to be so.
You don't know if you're dead, because you have no clue of knowing. Because when you pass through a life gate,
There's
you're
no
technically
earthly way of going
you're basically
which direction
turned
we
into
are knowing.
You're basically turned into a spirit when you pass through. The only way you'd know is if you died and then got back up.
Sadly, I died. But then I lived!
Well,
I don't want to know how we figure out if what
as they
happens to
say,
a dead person after they die.
well, as they say, Dylan, the reports of my death were greatly exaggerated. Speaking of, I was going to say great exaggeration, but it really isn't. Last we left our heroes with Dairon, the grieving rogue, Aldane, the grieving paladin, Felix, the injured and grieving painter, and Seamus, the injured and grieving bard.
Way to rub it in.
The four of you, along with Akra and Rua, finally made your way into the main ritual room of Eben in his tower. There you saw a Kirin, which had been crucified, a Boneclaw, which had been crucified, as well as Kuro, who had been held up. The fight with Eben was rather brief, but dangerous, of course, as it kind of got made. It went by really quickly, considering Akra did the mother of all clutch banishments. Genuinely, Eben only had to roll above a fucking 9 and he would have passed.
Well, he sucks, and
Nobody
he didn't,
expected
so...
that.
You spent the entire minute given to you, freeing Kuro, getting him down to safety, and then as you actually finally got to get out, after some glyphs exploded, Kuro was basically gashed into walking back inside, with which then you had to basically drag him out. And then as you dragged him out, even after all the stuff you had done, it turns out he had a teleportation rune on his body, bringing you back into the boss room, which by that point the banishment had ended. At that point, Eben was so incensed, he decided to activate the ritual, forcibly, pretty much dragging Kuro into him. But Rua did his best to hold on, but eventually Eben, being sick of everything, blasted him and a few of the others with his acid breath, to which then Seamus had to clutch up and lock in with some surprisingly really good strength rolls.
Yeah, buddy.
I mean, I guess to be fair, it works in character with the idea of adrenaline basically allowing you to do shit like that anyway. But yeah, unfortunately though, in the end, because Kuro didn't want you guys to be dragged in, he freed himself from Seamus and was absorbed into his father. At that point, Eben was basically kind of insane from the power high, but he didn't get to enjoy it for long, as Akra ordered you all to leave the room and spend some time getting a long rest, as he effectively soloed Eben on his own, after having powered up to his maximum. During that point, when Akra had powered up, he basically ended the however long permanent reign over Black Rain. And then, when you all left the room, you heard some ungodly screams, as Akra immediately wasted no time manhandling the shit out of Eben. When you all had your long rest, you're all obviously extremely distraught and, not happy with what had happened to your friend. You arrived back at the ritual room to see a completely bloodied and smashed up room, Eben of which was begging for your help out of sheer terror towards Akira.
To which I think we all went, what? No.
You all understandably ignored his pleas for help and decided to wail on him. During which, however, he tellingly called out to Rua by name, which clued him in, realizing that at some point Kuro must have taken back control. After an intense and very emotional heart-to-heart conversation, Kuro had to be regretfully put down. You all went through your grief in different ways, but it was short-lived as the tower began to collapse, swallowing you all up into the life gate beneath. You all awoke separate, Akira calling out to his grandson in desperation as Aldain and Dairon saw him. Akira kind of filled you in and, told you where you were, being the land of the dead. His panic rising and growing, before eventually his lover, Karen Velufra, showed up. They had a brief emotional moment as Akira had told her that not only was she a grandmum, which she didn't know, but that their grandson was lost in the land of the dead. To which she told you that Stasia was around, her son, Akira's son, Rua's dad, and that apparently he was become a maddened beast. Meanwhile, Seamus, Rua, and Felix awoke up, injured, to see an enigmatic elf who had a dark-coloured bird familiar with a very, whiny tone of voice. The enigmatic man, Refacule, as he was called, told you some of the situation of how he helped and healed you, and in exchange for the healing, and also not asking him why he wants to do what he wants to do, you are to help him seal away Stasia. You begrudgingly accepted the offer, and so that was basically it. So we're going to go back to Dairon and Aldain. As Karen is speaking to you about the situation, you can see her and Akira holding hands. You don't even really need to insight Akira, but you can really clearly tell how vulnerable he is. Not only because he's missing his grandson, but just the emotions of having, the lover he's not seen in ages with him. And so she basically goes on to say, yes, Stasi has been attacking and consuming some of the souls in the area. I've tried reaching out to him, but he's in such a maddened state, he isn't responding to me. And when he is, he's even tried to attack me a few times as well. Not only that, but there's this lich who's been trying to control him. And, part of my duties of being in the land of the dead as its guardian has been to deal with that as well. It's just been crazy. I saw that life gate above in the area, which has vanished now, open up, and I saw a few bodies fall out, which must have been you, along with all of that debris.
Must have been 6 of us, yeah.
I only saw the 3 bodies fall. There was a lot of debris, and there was also an earthquake in the area, so a lot of the terrain has been shifted. if your friends and she looks to Akra, our grandson, are in the area, then, well, I couldn't sense them, and I don't know where they've gone. If, they are in the area, they'll probably... Well, it would make sense for them to either find the closest settlement possible to see if you are around, or they might also try and seek out Stasia and see what they can do about him.
Knowing our friends and Rua,
You make it sound like he's not your friend.
well, I mean, I'm not gonna not single out Rua because we're kind of in the presence of his family.
I feel Akra's never really give a shit when you talked about Rua in front of him.
Yeah, but this is a family member who doesn't know him.
I get it.
So it's more like saying, "Hey,"
Yeah.
What's going on?
trying to very specifically say Rua is this type of person.
Sorry to cut you off.
No, yours fine. Knowing our friends and Rua, it makes a lot of sense that they would it wouldn't be out of the ordinary for them to actually go to Stasia, because that's where we would go as well.
Well, fingers crossed that they don't emulate the infamous Knight Sir Leroy of Jenkins.
I'm gonna kill you.
One sec, I've got Akra's character sheet open.
Then I will make you stay here.
I'm sorry, I couldn't resist.
I know.
Karen then goes on to add, but yes, my main goal is to deal with this lich who's been going around for a while.
My main goal is to blow up and then act like I don't know nobody.
I don't know what that
sure.
joke is in
Ghost of
reference
Seamus.
to. But yeah, my goal for a while was dealing with that lich, but then our son arrived and became this maddened beast. What happened to him, by the way? Why has he become this, if you know?
The cult of the Tarask kidnapped him, did experiments to
what?
try and force hybridization with the Tarask. For their
It
own
was a
benefit.
very disturbing process, to say the least.
She
Rula
looks down. She looks down at Akra, because bearing in mind she's nearly a whole foot taller than him, because he's only 5'8". She looks at him shocked, and Akra just gravely nods.
Rua was also killed him. I mean,
Erin, you can tell she's aghast at hearing that.
do you know the terrain of Tyrol?
I spent a brief bit of time with Akra, but I've arguably spent more time in the Land of the Dead than I have on the Prime Dimension. I'm actually not from the Prime.
Akra has mentioned. We were kind of shocked that we ran into Stasia where we did, because the humans running the cult of the Drask kind of dropped him in as a test.
The two of you look, and you can clearly see Karen's jaw clench. And the free hand she has that isn't holding Akra's hand, you can see she's clenching it hard. Before she then takes in a deep inhale and exhales.
I apologize, I should have been more graceful.
It's fine. We don't have the time to be graceful. We need to act. We should find a place that's more suitable to rest. At least to check if any of you guys have any injuries you don't know about. And also just to get a lay of the land. Like I said, an earthquake happened, and one of the rivers in the area also basically opened up and washed some of the terrain further down. it's entirely possible your friends might be down the flow of the river. In which case, well, I hope not, because the river in this area is quite dangerous. The best thing I would recommend is we find one of the settlements nearby. The people there know me and they'll take good care of us. We can decide to go there, see if they've actually arrived there before us. Failing that, we could wait if we wanted to, or at least come up with a better plan before we decide to search for them, while also dealing with Stasia and this lich.
Can you tell us about the lich?
I'll tell you on the way. And as you walk along with her, like I said last session, very briefly, like, the sky is such a mix of colours. Like, you've never seen a green and a yellow sky. In the far, far distance, all the way to what you can presume is the north. It's hard to tell because there's no sun in the sky. But there's still light, as if, the sun would be in the sky. But you look in the far distance and you see a grand tree that reaches far above the clouds. And as you take in these almost alien surroundings, Karen tells you, this lich, he's been around for a while. Apparently he lived in the continents to the north of Tyrol. Saramu? I don't know much about his history, but apparently he was doing experimentation on students that went to one of the big boarding schools on the continent. Apparently he got slain by a hero and then was brought down to here. From what I know, based on my intelligence, he's been laying low for a long time, but suddenly decided now was the best time to act. And that was, again, even before Stasia came here. The lich in question seems to be more focused on the abilities of beings that aren't even undead. I'm not sure why, but...
It's odd that the lich is going outside of their wheelhouse.
Perhaps, from what I could only assume, maybe the lich has realised that legions of the undead aren't enough as good soldiers. And also, well, given how strong I am and Akra would be, and well, before Stasia got separated from us when he was much younger, he already had the potential to easily exceed us in power if he really wanted to. So, I can only assume that the lich himself has seen the potential in our son and wanted to capitalise on that. And, given how strong the Tarask is allegedly supposed to be, based on, stories, he would probably be an even more appetizing tool.
Regardless, this might be a 2-1 stone situation.
Mm-hmm.
The one time I saw them together, Stasia actually tried attacking the lich. I don't know if some part is still within him, but from what I could... Well, during the time that I saw them, I was also travelling with the Avatar. That was a GM flub. The
Aasimar?
The Aasimar of the God of Life. He decided to leave because he had more businesses on the Prime Dimension, but he could sense that Stasia's soul seemed to be damaged. I'm not sure if, well, now that you've said it's because of the Tarask or because of something else, but his soul seems to be incomplete. Which is odd because, well, at least when we knew him, before he got separated from us, that was never the case at all. Which, has me concerned.
That's concerned. It's been a thing that we've been putting off. many ways. We knew it was going to be an issue. We just weren't sure. We just had other things on. Regardless, let's get to this encampment. We'll go from there.
As you talk, Aldane, you get a sending from Oryx.
These things work across planes?
They
Give
should.
me an Arcana check, both of you. Funny, because neither of you are the casters.
I mean, that's why Aldane's probably confused, because he doesn't know this shit. See, he doesn't know this shit?
Gyron, you know, there's a 5% chance that using sending across another plane of existence can actually fail. Also, because sometimes the planes can have different... because they don't necessarily align all the time, one-to-one. It's entirely possible that, like, guessing ascending right now could have been way out of date. Like, because this is from Oryx, this could have been ascending from, like, 2 weeks ago, back on the Prime.
Time flows differently here. That's what you're saying.
Yeah. Is this actually... 1, 2, 6, 7, 8... Yeah.
Aldane will compose a reply.
Once Aldane's done with that, I think what I'm going to do is, kind of pull Aldane, like, kind of give Karen, and Akira some space while Aldane and I talk. But I'll wait until Aldane's done talking. Sending the sending.
I've also, fun fact, the party being split in this particular way has been by design, because I wanted the two heavy hitters who aren't magically inclined to be separate from the two magically inclined people.
Rude.
I mean, it makes sense.
Because I was like, what should I do? Do I do it random or do I do it scripted? And I was like,
Well,
nah,
Felix, looks
scripting's
like you're gonna
fine.
have to be the tank.
I think Rua's got the highest AC out of the group. Fun fact, Reficule actually has the lowest HP in that side of the group, and he's higher level than you guys.
Well, yeah,
So-
it's sounding like he's a fucking lich. So,
I mean, he's not. You don't know if he's a lich, but he's extremely frail and dying.
look,
Fun fact,
you've been
everything's
talking.
Dying, isn't he already in the land of the dead?
I have a thing on his character sheet where every time he uses a sorcery point, he actually loses HP.
Actual HP or
That's
HP
fun.
maximum?
Not maximum, just normal HP.
Okay.
Okay, so, we've fallen through a life gate, currently in the realm of the dead. Can't be certain if sendings will work. We'll try to update you.
Okay, you get one immediately. Back off him, and it says,
Slightly awkward. Already had your funerals.
Fuck.
What did Oryx say?
Are you guys okay? This is the fourth sending I've made. I cannot sense any of you.
"But this is the second." just giggling because of the context of this second sending.
Ah, fuck nuggets.
Assuming we're out of stick with time.
Horus has been invaded by the cult. They took advantage of us leaving, and Zaris let them in.
Sorry, what? One more time?
Chorus has been invaded by the cult. They took advantage of us leaving. Zaris let them in.
I'm sorry, excuse me?
On
As you
purpose.
say that, Oryx, Akra just looks behind, shocked. What?
How many more times do you want him to repeat himself there?
Yeah, thank you, the Shade of Felix.
Yeah, no, I am just as shocked as you are. I don't know how to respond to that. Message received. We will try
Oh, I love
to make this quick.
Whiskey Tango Foxtrot.
As the cool kids say. You cannot fathom how long I've been waiting for this. I say this every time, but like...
I knew Stars was a prick, but
Fuck. Message received. We'll try to be back ASAP.
Makes me wonder. Oh no, I won't say anything because my character's not present.
Both of you, give me an intelligence check to remember something. Darren doesn't remember. Aldane barely remembers. You remember a while ago, one of the party happened to see Zaris talking with Scarlet,
oh my
the vampire.
fucking god.
Fuck.
And
You
she
guys-
did mention about his affiliation with the cult.
I vaguely remember Dyron and Aldane discussing it.
Yeah, because you're the only two who know about it. You didn't tell Felix or Seamus.
The who and the what now?
This is why we didn't tell Seamus.
So,
Well,
yeah,
I
it
remember
seems
that
as if-
because you very specifically never told Felix.
In fairness, at the time we were kind of under a lot of stress doing other things.
there was a lot of stuff happening around that point in the story.
We didn't want to add more to the burden.
It's been a while since that happened.
To be fair, the player forgot.
That's
The
fine.
players forgot.
Yeah. But yeah, so anyway. So that as that sinks in, you know.
You know, in retrospect, it was probably a bad idea to leave Zaris in charge of Cordis.
Considering you knew he was up to shady shit, yeah, it was.
Karen just
Why is
looks
the
at you
ghost of
guys.
Felix so vocal right now?
Karen just looks at you guys and says, "Who's this Zaris?" And then
Someone we're
says,
gonna fucking kill.
Akra says he's basically the general of the fucking army that our grandson leads. And she's like, "Oh, okay, I understand."
Our grandson
she
leads
just,
an
like-
army that fucks? What do they do to their opponents?
No, I'm not gonna make the joke. I'm just remembering a really bad Batman joke where Commissioner Gordon's like, no, I'll do it later. I'll say it later. Anyway, so yeah, as you head to the nearest settlement, we're going to move on to the others.
Oh, before we
Oh,
kind
no
of.
problem. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh god, now with the Zara shit. Why is. Aldane, we're gonna have to tell Guy.
Fuck.
I mean, you don't have a way to tell Guy.
Oh, fuck. I didn't even tell,
You gave away the sending stone.
I didn't even tell Oryx about. Fuck. Shit. You're gonna have to wait till the next time I get a sending then.
We'll have to hold that until we get back.
Yeah. Probably the smarter move.
As this
No point.
happens, Dyron, you get a sending off Guy.
Have fun telling Guy.
Have you, Kaido?
Trying to compose something again.
I think Gen's just taking it all in.
What's the message say?
Oryx sacrificed himself to help them escape.
Motherfucker. Well, if Oryx is dead, we'll see him soon. I'm actually more worried about the possibility that he survived but got captured.
Speaking of Aldane, you get this sending from Oryx.
I'm not dead yet!
Oh, god damn it. Oh, by the way, currently detained by the cult. I cannot help you. You didn't start with that?
To be fair, Zaris letting the cult in is arguably slightly more on the priority list.
I mean, on the one hand, yes. On the other hand, like, it would have been nice to know if, Oryx was unavailable to help us for whatever reason.
I'd just like to imagine that comparatively, Seamus and Felix are just blissfully unaware of what the fuck is going on in the other.
Meanwhile,
in their
Dyron
time
is just like
dimension.
concerned face the entire time.
They're just dealing with the fact that they've got like a fucking emotionally broken Rua who's completely of no help right now to them. And this fucking mystery guy with a really chatty bird familiar who won't shut up.
Damn, we'll try to save you once we're back. Please try not to get brainwashed in the interim.
So, meanwhile.
I see you typing, Mel.
Meanwhile. Felix and Seamus. As you're, like, preparing to move on, Refugule says, there's a settlement that I've been frequenting at the moment. It's not as big as the main settlement in the area, but it's closer. And they're all indebted to me because I've been protecting them for a while now.
I'd like to cast Sending.
Sure.
Do you send this sending to Guy?
Roll me a D100 as you do ascending.
Oh god.
Because it might not go through. No, it goes through.
Alright, so this is to Darren.
Just like, who the fuck is Refugule? Also, the name, just for the sake of clarification, it's spelled as...
Okay.
It's fine.
Felix didn't know how to spell it, necessarily.
The funny
I love
thing
how you
is...
end it. You
the
just, like,
Elvish-
sign off.
The Elvish speakers would know Stasia is like a female variation, like a female name.
Also, I had 3 words left, I just decided to go with it.
Not.
I mean, it works.
Character.
Felix sends his love. And they are safe. The three of them are alive. They're found by someone named Rethicule.
Karen shrugs. Never heard of him.
No clue who the fuck that is.
Land
Can
of
I
Day-
actually
big
do a
place.
history check?
Yeah, you can do a history check if you want.
I don't know how it'll be relevant, but I do have a decent history modifier.
Never heard of the guy.
Well, none of the histories I've read have mentioned him, probably.
The thing is, the Land of the Dead also comprises people from the heavens and hells.
It's not gonna hurt to try to figure out if someone I have heard of, but yeah, you are correct in that regard.
Am I okay in assuming that it's Akira's wife and not ex-wife?
They're not married. Karen and Akira just genuinely aren't married. They're just a couple.
Okay, I'm gonna say common law.
Partner is fine, because they are partners. They've not broken up or anything. It was basically just extremely long distance. As I was saying that, as you're getting ready, Seamus and Felix, you notice something about Rua.
Oh.
He doesn't have the Moonblade on him.
Oh.
Rua?
Shit,
Where's
where is
the
it?
Moonblade?
I don't know.
Did it dissolve with, you know?
I don't know.
Hey, Reficule, I don't suppose you saw a glowy sort of blade nearby us?
No.
Oh, that was worth a shot. Okay, this is bad. I don't really have anything to replace it with.
It's fine. Fuck. You just watch as Rua's one good hand, he rubs it on his face like...
Wait, we do know that we're in the land of the dead, right?
Yeah, Reficule
Yeah.
would have said.
On the plus side, your grandma's about somewhere.
I don't even know what she's... I mean, my granddad's told me about her, but I don't know her. And she doesn't know me, presumably. She left before even my dad got kidnapped.
I mean, it's not necessarily an amazing plus,
That's
but it's
That's what Felix gets back.
good news. The others are with your grandma.
I mean, I'm glad. But I don't know them.
They think
I don't
they're
know
alive,
her, even.
which is confusing. I feel like you'd be pretty sure if you're alive or not, but you know, that's just me.
Maybe not in the land of the dead.
Stasia. It's because of all these names. Because this is technically Stasia's proper introduction, really. It will be when you see him. But Reficule says... there is ways to tell if you have actually died or not. But it requires a level of meditation to sense if your soul has received any damage or has needed to be reconstructed. You should be... As long as none of you have died, you could be beheaded and get back up with your head reattached to the stump. Me, on the other hand, with my damaged existence, if I die, I'm gone for good.
I
Which
would,
is why
I would
ask
suggest
you to keep
avoid
protecting
dying.
of your life. Well, that's why I have familiars. I have more than just this fellow, this charming bird. You watch as the bird is like this bird, like it's a weird cross between like multiple different kinds of birds of prey, and it's just flying overhead, keeping a scout as it's like humming a ditty to itself. Did someone say something about beautiful old me? And he like lowers down to like meet you at eye level, Felix. Did you need something, fellow? My chum, my buddy old pal?
Just to keep Refakil alive, because he's not coming back.
Oh, I know that. I mean, heck, if he dies, we all die as well.
We being
It's
the
in my
familiars,
best-
not us.
I know, but it's in my best interest to not let him die.
I
can die as many times as I want, and I can come back.
I just wanted to confirm that the three of us, indicating to myself, Felix, Seamus, and Rua, are not included in the if he dies, we all die thing.
The thing is, if he dies, then you'll have no guide, so you'll be fucked anyway.
We'll be in a not great situation, but we will still be alive.
You'll be up the river Styx out of paddle.
I can swim.
Yeah, but can you swim while holding onto them too?
Seamus, Rua, you can swim, right?
I think so.
Brewer chimes in, I know how to swim. I
See,
am
it's
part
fine.
seal.
Don't worry about it.
No problem then. Well, I guess if you are drowning, I'll leave you to it.
Anyway, they're also heading to a nearby settlement, so, you know, fingers crossed it's the same one.
Hopefully. Would be nice to have more bodies to have on hand.
Mm-hmm.
The Lich.
Potential lich.
Also, on purpose, the person who has divine sense who could actually discern if he is
Yeah,
one
is
isn't
not
with
there.
you.
To be fair, Felix has no idea whether he should be worried that Refakul is a lich or not. This is Mill the player saying, I think he's probably a lich.
That's if he is, you don't
But
know.
is he the Lich?
To be fair, if there was ever a place with multiple liches, it would be here.
I'm just waiting for Vector to show up. That's what I'm waiting for as a player.
So, Dairon, you find an eye in a hand.
God damn it.
So, as the three of you, along with Refakul and his very chatty bird familiar, navigate through the area, Refakul looks to you and says, "So, what's the Prime like? I've not been there in so long."
Well, we just had to put a stop to an ancient black dragon trying to absorb his, like, the parts of his, Dracolich brother. That was a whole falling out thing. It was super dramatic.
Oh, well then, that sounds quite intense.
Little bit. There's a cult. I'm not sure if you were around for that.
I mean, there's many cults that dot the land.
This one's about a Tarask.
Oh. As he says that, the smile he's kind of kept just turns into a frown.
Oh god, is he the Tarask?
That
Trask is
cult.
notoriously anti-magic.
Ah.
Please tell me you've got some of those bastards.
Oh no,
We've gotten plenty of them.
we've been fighting them.
Good.
We sort of fought alongside a couple of them that were a little chiller than the rest of them, but you know, it's sort of. I wouldn't rely on many of their help.
Where evil lurks, it should be annihilated.
Well,
That's certainly one take.
we've certainly been doing a lot of evil annihilating.
Good. And he just like turns back, turns ahead, and just keeps walking forward. As as that happens, you see the bird lower down again and says, "Yeah, he doesn't like bad guys, especially the culprits are ass."
Hey, we've got
If it
that in
wasn't
common.
obvious anyway. Well, good for you. I've never met one myself, but you know.
I mean, we didn't really
Idiots.
meet the Trask. It was just asleep when we saw it. But yeah,
You've met a Taras?
like I said, it's difficult to say we met it. We never really talked with it. It was asleep, and I'd very much prefer it stayed that way. But yeah,
Well, you seem like some well-traveled adventurers.
Yep.
Something like that.
and yet we only got a name recently.
What's your name?
The Nameless Guard.
So
Oh.
our name is that we don't have a name.
He just snorts.
Yeah, laugh it up. It is kind of
Okay.
funny.
He just starts cackling loudly on purpose.
To be fair, it is a good name. It's just very silly.
As he's cackling, you just see Refugule turn around, hold his book out, and just fires a ray of frost at the bird, deliberately intending to miss him. But then the bird starts getting pissed off at his master.
So
As-
doesn't like evil people and doesn't like laughter. Apparently, okay. I'm starting to get a good idea of this guy.
Is this Batman?
Who?
I mean, he doesn't
Rude
look
just-
like a bat.
Yeah, you're right. Dumb thing.
As you're walking, you just see Rua like, he's walking with you, but he's like a few paces behind, and he's like looking off into the distance wistfully. He kind of has that 1,000-yard stare going on.
Felix will nudge Seamus and just like indicate with his head at Rua.
What you want me to talk to him?
No, I want you to fucking dance with him. Yes, talk to him. You remember the last time?
How about I?
You remember the last time something like this happened with Rua? He lost an arm and wanted to genocide humanity. We want to avoid something like that happening this time. He's only got one more arm left. One more real arm.
So
I
you're
can-
saying he could do it?
I can hear you guys, you know.
Hey, sorry, man. We're just looking for ways to cheer you up. Maybe. How about a nice song? Songs
No.
are fun.
No,
Why did I
Oh.
trust Seamus with this responsibility?
I'll be fine. I've moved on since those feelings.
What you had Tyrod with?
I'll manage. I'm more bothered
Really,
about what-
you know we're here for you, right? Like, we're not
Yeah.
going anywhere. We came all the
know.
way to the land of the dead, and we're still kicking.
I know.
See? Felix kicked Seamus.
I'm just realizing that like maybe me and Felix aren't the best duo. for
No,
all
we're not the most emotionally available duo.
Pairs group with the emotionally distraught Rua.
To be fair, Bill,
I don't think
the other half
Dairon's
of the
much better.
party, the other half of the party is Dairon and Aldane, who cannot spit out his feet.
Yeah, I think
But
we
yeah.
should change our name from the Nameless Guard to the Not So Well Adjusted Guard.
I mean, I was gonna say the dysfunctional guard.
Either works.
Yeah, either one works.
But yeah, I'll manage. I just want to get out of here and check up on Cordis and everything.
I'm sure Cordis is fine. Zaris is there.
Yeah, it's not like anyone could have invaded in the brief amount of time that we've been gone.
True.
There
And
it
look,
was.
if you
Cordis
can't
was not fine.
if you can't
I
trust
mean, even
Zaris,
then-
who can you trust?
I mean, even then, Oryx is basically the strongest mortal on that plane right now.
Hmm.
If he can't handle it, then, well, I don't want to think about it.
Though to be fair,
That's the
he
irony.
might be a little preoccupied claiming his country. We'll see.
I mean, I feel like he wouldn't abandon Cordis in its time of need.
I mean,
Regardless of how irreverent he is and how
Hmm.
snarky and rude he can be, he's still a good person, ultimately. We've seen that.
exactly. And hey, there's probably nothing happening with Cordis. It's probably, you know.
Everything's
Boring
probably
stuff.
A-okay.
I mean, we're gonna have to do a memorial for Kuro at some point.
We'll start planning the minute we get back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right,
This
the
is-
mood is taking a little bit of a downturn. So hoping to stay away from the little bit of a minefield of a topic that is Kuro right now.
He just died, Felix.
And that's
soon?
why I wanted to stay away from it. I don't really want to feel my feelings right now.
You and me both, bud.
Mm.
How about a song?
Oh god.
No.
Hey Reficule, have you heard of Seamus's Schmoes?
Okay, I'll stop now.
I have a lot of my memories completely gone from when I awoke in the land of the dead.
Was one of the things you still remember Seamus's Schmoes?
I would have been alive. I would have died before he probably took off as a musician.
Well, Seamus,
And
why didn't you tell our good pal Reficule all about Seamus's Schmoes?
Please
How about
don't.
I don't and say I did?
Why don't you tell us about yourself, Felix?
So, how far away is the settlement?
He points into the distance, and you do see it like a few buildings in the distance. That far.
Good, still far enough that this silence will be awkward. Okay.
As you're walking along, you watch as Reficule reaches into his cloak and pulls out his notebook and seems to pull out a pencil and starts doing some drawings. I'm going to roll for him. Oh, he did very well. I mean, he should. He has expertise in it.
Oh no, would you look at the time?
Oh, you're also an artist.
Yeah. Are you by one then?
Yeah. I get out my sketchbook.
We're all artists, I guess, in one way or another.
I'm not. Rose.
Well, yes, you are. You're
I mean,
an
I'm a
expert of
martial
the political
artist.
arts and the martial arts. Yeah.
I-
there you
I wouldn't-
go.
I wouldn't say me denouncing Black Crane and telling them if they don't stop their slavery, we're never doing trade deals with them, is me necessarily being a political artist.
Oh wow, would you look at the time?
You can tell with Rua, he's just a bit like... He's talking a bit more since you spoke to him, but he's still quite, snippy.
Yeah, I'd rather have Snippy Rua than Quiet Rua. At least with Snippy Rua, he's emoting.
I mean, when most of his emotion is just sadness and occasionally seething anger and self-loathing.
Hey, I'd
Is
rather
it
have that
really?
than nothing, because if there's nothing, then I'm worried about him committing self-delete.
He wouldn't do that. I mean, he has
Commit
a gun, but,
self-character
like,
reroll.
He would just sooner take his frustration out on an enemy.
Exactly. He wouldn't take it out on us.
I mean, he wouldn't attack you guys anyway unless you attacked him. He has no reason to be hostile. Maybe when he was pre-losing his arm, when he killed his dad. Because at that point he was extremely unstable. But that's for another time. So, as you're continuing, as both the groups continue to walk along, Aldane and Dairon. Oh, well, actually, no, Dairon. You and Akira look into the distance, and you begin to hear the sounds of screaming. But it doesn't sound like someone who's in peril. It sounds almost bestial.
Aaron? Do you hear that?
Papa?
Yeah, I do.
Is that what I think it is?
I don't know. But we should check it out. We can at least scout ahead.
Dairon will elect to do that.
As you and Akira get into stealth, ditching Aldane and Karen, because Karen's in full heavy armor, so she also has a penalty to stealth. Huh? Shit, my phone. Akira just tosses his phone into the distance. There we go. Akira's going to stealth with a 27.
Okay.
See if you can keep up with me, Dairon.
I doubt I can. Maybe I will.
Oh shit, where did you go, Dairon? What? Oh, no! He doesn't-
I love
Did you just one up Akira?
To be fair, Akira has slightly less.
True. Look at my one. Look at my other roll. That is a 1.
Peaks and
stealth.
That's
valleys.
crazy.
My stealth is mean.
Popped off. As you approach basically this, you see almost like trees that don't kind of mesh well with the terrain, but they're there nonetheless. But as you pass through the trees and like maneuver around, you see a ghastly sight. You see several corpses. Well, corpse feels like the wrong word because you're already in the land of the dead, but you see loads of bodies that have had significant bite marks in different parts of their bodies. One of them has had basically half his face ripped off with clear teeth marks.
Should have been me!
What, do you want to have
Sorry,
your face
what?
eaten? But yeah, you hear, as you get closer, you begin to hear the sounds of someone chewing on something. It sounds like someone biting through meat and
What the-
bone and sinew. And eventually, you see this. How would I explain it? You see someone hunched over, basically eating away at this body. And yeah, you can just hear the sounds of this being eating away at this body, and you recognize at least the vague appearance of this person, because they have Tarrasque features.
I motion to Akira. I'd say,
The moment you look at him, his hand is covering over his mouth. You can clearly tell, he can tell who it is.
It's the MVP.
His head is just shaking.
I'm saying, I'm trying to mouth to Akira. Oh,
What do you mouth at him? You got really quiet then.
sorry. I mouth the words. Go and get them now.
He looks to you and nods. As you turn around and make your way, give me another stealth check.
Oh, I'm staying. I'm watching.
Oh, okay. Akra's going to make a stealth check then. At that point, the creature, Stasia, because it's clearly him, lifts his head up and begins to look around. The noises that are coming from him just sound ghastly. It's almost like two voices layered on top of each other. And as the being looks around, it begins to lower its head again and continues to eat at the body. As the...
Like, Dairon is literally not breathing. Like, just holding their breath.
As this happens, you... How do I describe it? You, The creature, Stasia, that is. You notice some, like, a light escape the body of the being that he's eating. And how to describe it now? It looks similar to what you can only assume were the souls of the people that were trapped because of the Dracolich pieces. But this colour's very clear compared to the other ones that had a more, like, actually defined colours. And the soul, as it tries to fly away, you watch as Stasia's neck actually stretches to catch the soul before consuming it and chewing on it, basically as if it's like something soft and malleable. And it begins to just do a loud swallow as it just eats this soul. And as it does, its body almost shudders. Its movements are extremely unnatural and just like uncanny. And at this point, it's going to do a perception check. Give me another stealth check, Dairon. It raises its head before immediately lowering it again. It hasn't detected you. Thankfully. Eventually, Aldane, you see Akra return, and he just gestures for you, to you and Karen, to follow along. As he does he? Doesn't have passive outtrace. Does he not? No. But yeah, he gestures for you to follow him. Let me just check something. No. Yeah. So, Aldane, give me a stealth check. And Karen will also do one.
With disadvantage, I assume.
Yes.
That is kind of the default, given, the armor.
Mm-hmm.
Well, wasn't gonna do jack or shit anyways.
She only has a bonus to her stealth because her dex is that high. Because it's a +3 her dex mod. As you do, make your rolls anyway. Dairon, you begin to hear the familiar sound of Aldane and someone else in heavy armor approaching.
Praying to God.
At this point, Stasia raises his head and just screams. It's the noise, it's genuinely uncomfortable to listen to. Because it sounds like a mixture of him roaring and also in pain. Let me bring you onto the map.
I have a question. Do Felix and Seamus hear the scream?
No.
Did Felix and
They-
Seamus what? I didn't hear most of that.
Do they
I
hear
don't.
the scream?
Ah,
My passive
Uh,
perception's pretty high, but I don't think it's that high. Because we could be on entire other ends of the land of the dead right now.
You could be walking in the complete opposite direction from each other.
Mm-hmm.
or we could just be around the corner and really deaf.
You could. So, I'm gonna say let me bring in the map. That doesn't pass. Here you go. I'm just using this token as a placeholder for Stasia. I didn't mean to put him on the map player. That's all.
Oh, that's horrifying.
Yeah, he's considered a large creature. I'm gonna change the music actually. It'd help if we had a different song, wouldn't it?
It'd be nice.
We'll use this one. I don't use this one enough. Meanwhile, Felix and Seamus are just having a... what would be the worst situation? What Dairon and Aldane are going through, or what Seamus and Felix are going through?
To be fair, I feel like the mood has improved at least a little bit now that we're talking about art.
Rue's just still quiet though, because it's not his conversation.
We'll deal with Rue once we are at least, it's a little awkward having these conversations in front of Refacule in his talking bed.
I like the talking bird.
Wait, I know who this character is.
What?
Oh, I know who you based him off of.
Who?
The Shatter
It's not
guy from
Rob.
Baldur's Gate 2.
I was gonna say it's not Rob Lucci, is it?
No, I didn't.
Oh. That's what it feels like.
I didn't do any. I'll be honest. D&D, actual D&D content is the last thing I pull from.
Fair.
Also, Dylan, Kaido doesn't One Piece.
Ah, so he wouldn't know who Rob Lucci is.
Yeah, I read good material like.
Hey, it's good. It's just really fucking long.
like Mid-Hero Academia. Am I right, chat? No.
Also,
Isn't
to be fair,
Didn't that manga have kind of like a bad ending now too?
no, not really.
No, not really.
It was a fine ending. It wasn't an amazing ending.
Oh,
but
I
it was
heard a
fine.
lot of the fans were mad because Midoriya and
A lot of the fans are
Ochako
always
didn't
mad
get
for
together or
my-
something.
A lot of fans are mad for dumbass reasons.
Like, there is never a time when there's not mad My Hero Academia fans, because they're dumb.
I mean, the same also
Oh, no.
applies to Jujutsu
Now this
Kaisen
will never be
fans.
more mad at my hero.
Lobotomy Kaisen?
Correct.
But anyway,
Yeah,
even
Lobotomy
if
Kaisen's also over.
Mm.
That ending was kind of weird.
it was fine, it was safe, it wasn't amazing, but
It was
wasn't
one
bad
of
either.
the endings of all
It was,
time.
yeah. I was gonna say it is the shonen ending of all time.
But yeah, even if
The only
Kaido,
thing that would have made it better if there was a whole time skip and they showed who got together with who and what their kids looked like.
No,
That's the shonen ending of all time.
I actually
No, that's Naruto. We didn't
Yeah,
get an armor.
yeah,
Well, that's Naruto, and that's Bleach too.
True. I can't wait for One Piece to do it so we can have the big three.
The
Yeah,
big
even
three and
even
Bleach.
even if Kaido got,
And technically, if they had actually ended Dragon Ball Z at Dragon Ball Z, then it would have been the same thing too.
Oh my god, Akira narratively got a shit role.
Mm.
It worked.
Because like the ending of Dragon Ball is like peak shonen ending.
Oh, Karen also did as well. The narrative.
yeah.
How
Anyway,
did I get a 2?
anyway, because I can't
Kyle
be,
did get the best initiative.
because I can't be
Oh,
bothered wording it
yeah.
properly, I'm just gonna say it. Rob Lucci is a shit character, so.
It kind of is, but they at least make fun of him a lot later on.
So, as Stasia begins to roar, he
Do I get a roll thing?
he doesn't Stasia doesn't notice you, but he does notice
The
Karen
two people,
and,
the two
Alvin.
people in
Yeah,
heavy
no,
armor.
that's fine. I'm more talking. I'm not really right.
He rushes past and actually
Oh dear.
just lunges at Aldane.
Fuck shit, fuck.
As he does, his teeth and claws begin to are laced with lightning.
Oh no.
So he has a plus this much to his modifier to hit.
Oh boy.
That is a 25 to hit.
Even if I had my Shield of Faith up, that would have hit.
Damn, cringe. Just don't get hit, am I right, chat?
I don't
For real,
have
though.
evasion like Dairon does.
Just get good.
Only for deck saving throws, nothing else.
You take 9 lightning damage as he basically bites into you, piercing your armor and digging into your shoulder. As he then basically tries to rip out with his teeth, doing another attack.
Oh no, he gave you a hickey.
That is an 18.
So 9 and 18 total.
No to hit.
Oh, 18 misses.
You shove him off before his teeth fully dig into your shoulder, but his mouth is like dripping with blood. And at that point, he only has to look up. He sniffs up, and he looks straight at his own dad. And the two of them just make eye contact. Aldane, it's your turn.
Well, there goes nothing.
25 will hit. Yep. So you do your damage. Don't forget you also have your other ability, which makes it so the next attack he does is at disadvantage.
Yep.
Yep. So you do that. Are you attacking again?
Yes.
Yep, that hits.
Yep. I'm gonna add a juicy little smite to that one. At level 2. What do you qualify as undead?
Nope.
So it's 3d8 then.
Yeah. He's too busy being classified as a completely different enemy category. Yeah.
And I use bonus action Shield of Faith at end of my turn.
So, legendary action. He roars, and begins to breathe lightning
Sure.
at you. Give me a dex save.
Fuck shit. Nope.
Let me check how much damage this is. Oh, very nice damage. That would be at what level? Okay. You take 18 lightning damage.
Oh, there it is.
Give me a Constitution saving throw to see if you hold Shield of Faith.
Yeah, hold on a second. I think that holds.
You do. Now, are you moving? Oh no, you've ended your turn, haven't you?
Yeah.
Darren, it's your turn.
Close am I?
You're
Like,
close.
is this accurate?
Yeah. Why not? Like, you're basically obscured by foliage. He doesn't actually see you.
That kept me flanking with Aldane.
Yeah.
As I'm running in, I strike with my rapier.
Do you have a rapier?
I have a regular rapier.
Yes, you do.
$28.
Yeah, that hits.
Sure, 31 damage.
You, like, stab through his abdomen to the point where Aldane sees the blade barely peeking from the other side. And as you pull it out, you see the wound take time, but it eventually knits shut.
Lovely.
That hit doesn't seem like it did as much as it would have done. Or it should have done, even. Is that your turn?
Yes. Well, I'm actually... bonus action... insightful fighting. Just...
I'm gonna tell you now. Just actually make the roll. I'll tell you.
Okay. I'm assuming he's not very deceptive, but...
He has a penalty to charisma.
Yeah, I don't
No,
think
there's
that...
literally no way.
Not even that 20.
Legendary action. He turns around at you, Dairon, and makes a bite. Oh, that... Let's do
Assuming
that
it's a
again.
crit.
No, I accidentally, because of the dice roller, I had like 3 of the same dice earlier for Aldane's damage roll. So I accidentally did 3d20s. But a 23 hits, so... I'm assuming it does.
Sorry, what was the hit?
23 to hit.
That hit. I'm uncanny dodging.
You take 8 lightning damage as he like swings his
Oh,
claw
do
at you.
do I get resistance on that?
Do you?
I'm gonna check.
I'll have a look. Yes, you do.
Okay,
So
No.
it's double half, so a quarter.
yeah, so what was the
8.
2?
Yeah. As that happens, the creature, Stasia takes a moment, and then its hands and teeth begin to change from lightning, and you see poisonous vapor.
I hate this so much.
I'm gonna do a wisdom check for Akira. He can't do all of his abilities. He actually can only do 2 attacks.
Is he still tired?
No, he's just... he doesn't want to punch his own son. That's all. It misses.
Does he not get overwhelmed?
Akira's in a state where he just isn't there for it.
Well, okay.
That hits for 10 bludgeoning damage. As Akira goes to punch it in, and he strikes his son across the face. But you can clearly tell he wasn't meaning to hit as hard as he did, because you actually see a tooth fly out of his son's mouth. And you can see, like, the pain in Akira's expression as he just did that. Bonus action, he will do the dodge action. He's going to use patient defense. Karen moves in from behind with her greatsword. As she pulls the greatsword off her back, it begins to create vapor as, like, it becomes wreathed in ice. She will strike at her son with a 13 good damage. And again, crit. Okay.
It does seem like she doesn't seem to care. She cares.
You can. So, give me an insight check, both of you. I'll allow it for free. And she does the third attack, misses. That hits though. Holy shit. You can tell this isn't the first time she's come to blows with Stasia. So she's handling it better than Akira, especially because, bearing in mind, Akira's dealing with the fact that he doesn't know where his grandson is. Like, you can tell he's still feeling a bit powerless from not being able to do enough to help Kuro as well. Like, he's a cocktail of emotion. You can definitely tell Karen's more of a soldier as well, in terms of her demeanor. Just in terms of, like, being a lot more stoic and willing to do what she needs to do. But you can also tell she's not going for lethal blows, even though she's doing good damage to him. At this point, Stasia clutches his head and begins to scream as he teleports. Right behind Dairon. At this point, Stasia will do all of his attacks on Dairon.
Yep.
That hits. That hits. That hits. As he does a bonus action attack, swinging at you with multiple poison-laced claws. Dairon, you take 11 damage, 8 damage, and 6 damage. I'm guessing you're halving the 11 damage?
I still I don't have my.
Oh yeah, you don't. Your turn hasn't come back yet.
Yeah.
He swiftly hits you with a whirlwind of claws, and you feel the poison go into the wounds.
Hold on. I'm just doing that.
Yep. $11, 8, 6.
Yep. Okay.
Actually, no, it wouldn't be. It would only be 11 and 8 because he already did his bonus action to teleport.
Oh yeah.
So the 6 is non-existent. Aldane, it's your turn.
Do I have to do like a con save or anything?
No, this is just poison damage. I'm just describing it with flavor.
Okay.
Well, then it goes around here to get the flank, and goes for the attack.
Does not hit.
Nope.
Does not hit.
He's still a bit stunned by the lightning.
You can tell his skin's become a thick carapace. The few bits of elven traits are very hard to see. Dairon.
I get advantage, right?
Yep.
Okay. Strike with the rapier. 17.
Does not hit.
Bonus action with the dagger of echolocation.
Mm-hmm.
29.
Yes, we love to see it.
Ooh.
You, in the chaos, you end up stabbing him from under his throat. As you pull the blade out,
This is
wound-
magical. This dagger is magical.
Yes, so it does do the full damage, but you can still tell the wound is slowly but surely knitting away as he holds his own throat trying to not bleed out and die. He's still going though. Akira moves in and goes to make another punch, hitting for max damage actually. And misses again. Well, I say it again. He misses, and then does a bonus action attack for 11. So, Akira, you can tell he's trying to, he's not trying to throw the fight, obviously, but you can tell he's really not trying to hurt his son, as you know. But you can tell he's in such a mix where he's really struggling to hold back. Fucking hell. And so he ends up hitting a lot harder than he's trying to. As he does, he calls out, Stasia, please. I'm here. You're safe. Just calm down. And he's going to try and persuade. I don't know why it did it twice. With an 18. Really good, actually. I always forget Akira has really good persuasion. As he does, Stasia looks at his granddad, and the poison that's oozing off of begins to glow golden. He's going to do a special legendary action, burning all of them, to attack his dad. And he gets advantage. That's a crit. That hits. And that also hits. Let's make this a public roll. Why not? Akra takes 33 poison damage. So he basically stabs his grandfather in the abdomen, deep enough that you both see the claw poke through the other side of his gut. As the claw rips through his stomach, you watch as Akra's doubling over in agony. As now it's Karen's turn. She rushes in, and she's going to actually action surge. Hits. For double max, that's crazy. Hits. For, oh my god, she's popping off. Okay, she's not. She is goated, but not that goated.
Goated, no sauce.
Yeah, she's held the sauce. And now she gets to do 4 more attacks because she's action surged. Oh my god. Okay, now I need to calculate how much damage she did in total. Hold on a second, your GM is hard at work. So before action surge, she did 62 damage. She's done 125 damage.
You know, it makes my crit feel a lot less.
She puts to the side of his body, seeing her lover in such pain, and also just the mix of emotion, she just nearly bisects him, like sideways. But her blade stops at his spine. As that's happening, you're seeing Stasia regenerate around the sword.
Oh, that's not good.
She slowly has to put her boot on his back and pull the sword out. It's at this point, if we want to cut the music, Stasia begins to clutch his head and screams loud enough that I need the two of you to do con saves.
Do I get the benefit?
No, you're more than 10 feet away from me.
Damn it.
Akra does, but he passes anyway.
Get a 50.
Rip.
Karen passes, so...
Do you saw that inspiration?
It's not that much damage. I'm going to be honest with you, it's not that much. The fight's over.
Just take the L, Jack.
It's only
Hopefully
22.
the only time you'll have to.
It's only 22 thunder damage, and only Dairon has kind of like partial deafness.
Yeah, just some tinnitus. No big deal.
Everyone else,
Tinnitus.
you know.
Potato,
Aldane,
potato.
you also fail because the DC was 17.
Back.
Uh,
22, you said?
Yeah, blood is oozing from your ears as Stasia is writhing and shaking and screaming. At this point, Stasia basically shoves past Akra and begins to run away. You can do opportunity attacks, but Karen isn't attacking.
Aldane sheathed his sword.
As he basically runs
Take a
off.
pot shot.
Hey, do you do a melee attack? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
You jab him in the Achilles tendon, putting through it cleanly. Roll your damage. Yeah. His foot's hanging on, but it's regenerating as he's crawling away on all fours. Moving really fast. Eventually, you would go off the map. I'm going to move you back onto the world map. And yeah, you're just sort of left with that.
That just happened.
Get this fucking MCU dialogue out of you again. Okay. I'm gonna... Here's some new music, by the way. As you're left with that, you can see the blood that's on Akra's fists, and he just looks horrified. He actually looks like
all right.
As you ask him that, I'm gonna give him a con save to see if he froze up. He barely hangs on.
I'll take that as a no.
I kind of just put like signals to Aldan. Let's.
Sorry.
You can just see Akra's like taking really deep exhales. Karen wipes the blood off her blade and sheaves it. That was Stasia, obviously, but he wasn't as big as he was then. He's grown in size. He's been consuming souls, eating them, and then absorbing them for power.
We're gonna need to put stops to that, unfortunately. It's not gonna be fun.
He's never reacted like that before, though.
He's already fought the two of us.
What was that again?
He's already fought the two of us. Add on top of that, Akira's also here now. Doesn't shock me that he's going a bit above and beyond.
Well,
Sorry, I'm
it's fine.
talking.
Let's not tarry here any longer. We need to rest up. And if he's on the loose, then we should see if the people at the settlement know any more about what had happened then. Because she glances over. You can, a lot of the bodies have been so eaten to the point you can't really get any discerning features about them. Even some of the bone has been, bitten off on parts of their bodies. As that happens...
Can we just end before we swap over?
That's fine. What do you
I
want
want to just say I want to just say to Aldan Rue is not real better.
No. We're in for their.
Exactly.
It's not going to be ideal. To say the least.
Okay, now you. Sorry.
So, Stasia. Yeah, as Stasia runs away into, the distance, Felix and Seamus. How do I describe it? You eventually arrive at the settlement that Refugule has promised you would grant you refuge. You see a mix of like different kinds of people, like different kinds of races. You see a few humans, you see elves, you see dwarves, you see dragonborn, you see all sorts. You, as you walk in, you are greeted by a let me make it. Let me have a look. You are greeted by a dwarf man in like scale armor, scale mail.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, Refugule, it's good to see you. And who are these that you've picked up? And Refugule glances back and says, "These are people I've hired for now. They're my bodyguards of sorts. Treat them as you would with me." And the dwarf nods and just says, "If you want to follow me, we can show you to the inn that we have."
You guys have an actual inn? What?
It's a repurposed inn. A building fell into one of the hells at one point, and then when one of the hells got merged into this domain, it basically got placed here. A few of us actually know carpentry and have some skills in managing how to look after a building, so we have done it up a bit. As you're led to the building, the actual name of the inn has been basically eroded. So you don't know what the name of it would have been called. But as you're led inside, it's surprisingly well kept. Inside, you see a few people like talking and spending time with each other. Noticeably, not a single person's having like food or drink. Because to be fair, the spirits, they don't need to do that.
Mm.
And neither do you.
I was.
You
I
haven't
was.
felt hungry.
Yeah, I was
You
about
haven't
to
felt
ask
hunger or
that.
thirst since you've got here, and you
Yeah.
have been walking for what would have been at this point like a couple of hours.
Mhm.
You can still feel fatigue,
Mm.
but you're not feeling hunger or thirst.
Right.
Does that mean we're dead?
Not right now.
I mean, again,
have your existential crisis once we're in the room, Seamus.
I want it now, though. I want to have it now.
as you are led inside, Refugule walks over to the desk and basically has a chat with the person tending the bar. And Refugule walks back and hands you both. He holds out in his hand 2 keys. 2 bedrooms, 2 beds in each. So, you know, one of you will have to share with me, I'm afraid.
Why don't... Oh, yeah.
I mean, we're sharing either
I'll-
way, so
I'll-
it depends. It depends how we're splitting up here.
I'm willing to trust you, so decide amongst yourselves who wants to have to sleep in the same room as me.
Felix, I think you should stay with Rua. I guess I'll hang out with the strange man.
For what
Okay.
it's worth, I'm an elf, so I can trance, so...
In
Although I
that case,
didn't-
Felix, maybe you want to stay with him because you can trance too. Then it's not that awkwardness of just one of you guys watching the other sleep.
All right. I mean, it's gonna be that awkwardness with Rua, but yeah.
Well, at least Rua and I are on like the same sleep schedule.
Rua just takes one of the keys from Refugule and goes to the room. He's pretty quiet, isn't he? Is he normally like this?
We lost a friend before we came in here, and he had
Oh,
to
yeah,
do
you
the,
said.
the mercy kill. Also that being that you're trying to go after, um,
That's his.
that's his
That's his
dad.
dad.
Yeah, that he also had to kill.
As you say that, his face narrows into a frown as he looks over to where the room Rua went into.
Inside.
Interesting.
Shit.
You can't tell, Felix.
I will insight as well. It's the first time I've had to pull up my character sheet off session. Not good enough.
You really can't tell, Seamus.
Wow,
Only I would.
you're really an enigma.
It's almost like I put the people of the weaker insight rolls with the more mysterious NPC.
I mean, the point is, I do have proficiency in insight. It's just that my wisdom is a fucking naught.
It's like a dump stat.
It's not quite the dump stat, but it is one of them. Yeah.
Well, in any case, I'm gonna have a rest. I need more rest nowadays as time goes on.
Right, Seamus, you go deal with the Rua issue. I'll go try and find out if we're dead or not. Sound good?
Yeah, sure. I guess I'll go sleep.
No, it's not sleep. Talk. For the love of God, don't leave Rua on his own right now.
Got it.
Felix really is like the dad between these two. He just doesn't want to give a fuck about Rura.
This is
I
why
know that's
feeling
not
like
the case, but it just feels like I don't want to emote. You deal with him, mother.
Here's the thing. They're childhood friends. Come on. Cut me some slack on this one.
I truly believe that this is why Felix enjoys hanging out with Dyrod, because yes, Dyrod is a fucked up piece of shit. However, Dyrod also
Seamus is his own special kind of fucked up.
Dyrod doesn't make Rua deal with this.
So, as you both go into your rooms, Felix, as you try to... Refacule tells you the method to meditate and to discern whether you still have a link to your, like, you know, actual existence.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a wisdom check. Just check.
Oh God. Okay. This is just going to be a flat D20.
Okay. So from what he describes to you, you can still faintly sense that you didn't die at any point. You can't speak for the others, but you can sense for yourself that you haven't died. So you passed through the life gate unscathed.
But, you know, I feel like there's a relatively decent, you know, if I was okay, then the others are probably okay.
If it helps, when I found your bodies, you weren't... If anything had killed you, it would have been internal.
I think we were probably fine.
I mean, you'll find out what next time you try and pass through a life gate.
I guess so.
Next time on Dragon Ball Z.
So, how are you holding up in any case?
Well, I'm apparently technically still alive, even if the environment doesn't help with that. Still don't know where our friends are, but, you know, they're with two of the strongest people we could ever know, so, you know, it's probably fine.
I asked the bartender if any of your friends happen to pass through or come to here, they'll let me know as soon as possible.
It is appreciated. And we're gonna have to hunt down and kill our friend's dad again.
We're not killing him, we're sealing him away.
Right.
What happens if we kill him? Oh wait, no, I'm not here right now. Sorry.
No, you're not. Yeah, okay, we're sealing him. You said I couldn't ask you why you wanted to do that. Can I ask what you're gonna do after you do that?
I'll probably find a nice quiet place to do my final drawing before I pass.
Okay. Good to know. Just out of curiosity, anything else? You know, anyone else turning up here that's causing some trouble?
He shrugs. If anything happens to come through, it'll probably just be some random devils or demons.
I ask only because we have a tendency to find these people or things anyway, so, you know, it'd be good to get a bit of a scope out first.
Who knows, maybe some of your enemies were keeping watch on us the whole time and have followed us.
We have sent a lot of enemies this way, so...
Well, the land of the dead doesn't encompass the entirety of death. Hell and heaven still exist. It's just some of it has been meshed together with this existence.
Well, that's good. I feel like you know...
You could arguably call this place purgatory more than just the land of the dead.
Right. Well, on the plus side, I have a feeling that a lot of the people we killed probably went down rather than up.
Oh yeah, that confidence in your own morality?
I don't know. I feel like, you know, the people working for, you know, Evil Ancient Dragon and, you know, the people trying to wake up a Trask, generally not great people.
That makes sense.
I mean,
It's a
not all
logical assumption.
Not all of the people wanting to wake up the Trask are necessarily bad. It is a cult. We've seen that, you know, there's a grey area there, but yeah,
There's always nuance when it comes to people and groups. FL, who's to say that any of your friends or people you work with directly are of sound morals?
Oh, like Zaris. Sorry.
I mean, yeah, honestly. To be fair, Zaris is like true neutral. He was never really a good aligned character. It just helps that his daughter happens to live in Cordis.
I mean, you know, we know a guy who killed his own mother, who I think was a bad person, so there's grey areas there as well.
Hmm. Well, Well, in any case, I hope you have a good rest. I'm gonna stay up a bit longer. I'm gonna finish on what I was working on.
I'll stay up
book
with
again.
you. I mean, I'm supposed to be a bodyguard. I can't really guard your body if, you know, I'm...
He can
Can't
still
think.
keep watch over me as he gestures to his bird familiar. He can still be active while I rest.
Alright. Well,
He also doesn't require sleep.
you die during the night, don't blame me.
I won't. Worry not. You watch as he climbs into the bed and actually pulls the covers over himself and trances as if he's sleeping.
So weird.
I was raised to rest like this.
Still, so weird.
Well, in any case, I hope you have a good rest.
Well, I should,
fair.
as long as I can't dream here. Dreams.
Meanwhile, Seamus, you walk into the room and you see Rua just sort of like lay on his bed, just like staring up at the ceiling.
So, you want to talk about it?
About what?
I mean, how you're feeling? we just went through quite a bit. Maybe it would be a good idea to unpack some of that.
I mean, I don't really know what else there is to say.
But yet you still feel terrible about it.
I mean, yeah, don't you?
Of course. But talking about it can help. Come on, tell me what's on your mind.
I'm angry. I feel weak. I feel useless. What good does any of this power do if I can't even help someone like Kuro?
Well, I can tell you a thing or two about feeling powerless. I mean, I've told you what I went through before I met the party and everything.
Yeah.
So maybe I can help you move past some of that and just, we control what we can. And what we can't control is just what we can't control. And in that case, life's thrown us a few haymakers that we definitely could not block, but we just got to roll with the punches at this point. And we got to keep in mind the task at hand, which is, finding your father and then getting the hell out of here.
I need more power. I need to become stronger.
Absolutely. And we can keep training, and we can keep battling, and we can keep trying to get stronger.
Give me an insight check, by the way.
Yeah, I'm thinking
dude.
I'm thinking red flag. That's a red flag.
You can... It's hard to tell. It's clearly like a mix of like grief, powerlessness, but you can also sense that like lust for power. You can tell though, it's infinitely more benign and like good compared to someone like Eben.
Low bar.
Look, Rua, power is great and all, but power without a purpose is just empty.
I know. And that's why I want to become strong, so that this doesn't happen again. No one
Just
should
don't
have to
forget
go
who
through
you
what
are.
we did.
Just never forget who you are and where you came from, and also that you have an entire nation of friends that are
I
looking
know.
out for your best interests.
I know.
We're all here for you. And hey, if
Yeah.
you don't have the power for something, lean on us. We can help.
I know. I'm gonna turn in. I'm tired.
Okay, I'll stay up a little bit longer. I'm gonna be writing some music over here, but you let me know if you want to talk anymore, okay?
Okay. I don't, but thank you.
Hey, I just said if.
He gets under the covers, similar to Refugule, and just trances while he's in, like, under the covers. During the time that, Rua trances, you can see him tossing and turning quite a bit. Meanwhile, for you, Felix, as Refugule is also trancing, his familiar just like is flapping around the room, and he's like, "Ugh, hate being cooped up inside."
I don't suppose you've got any more of an idea of who he is than he does.
Oh, I'm formed from his past traumas. Me and the other familiars he can summon.
Okay, what particular trauma are you formed from?
Who says I have to tell you? We're not that. Our working relationship isn't that good enough yet, I'm afraid.
You know what, that's fair, we've only just met.
It's a bit. You don't just ask a bird what his point of origin was, you know?
I don't know, I feel like I've asked birds that and they answered.
Really?
I think so.
Name me at least 2 occurrences.
Like I said, I think...
I'm being generous. Give me 2 occurrences where that has happened. If it has, I will. Oh, I have no money to speak of, but I'll find a way to pay you back.
I mean, you could pay me back by telling me where you came from, but, you know, we It wasn't really a bird, I guess, but we, befriended a hook horror pretty quickly.
But did you ask it what its point of origin was?
Yeah, I think we did. Certainly asked where it came from.
I mean, if it was a hook horror, wouldn't it just be from the Underdark?
Well, we were in
They
the
don't even
Underdark
have
at the time, so
They
I
don't
think
even
we
have
were...
the capacity to have higher thoughts anyway, right? They're stupid.
Don't judge just because you got
Don't
formed.
call my pet stupid!
Just because you were formed with sentience doesn't mean other things were formed with sentience.
I mean,
Or
everything
sapiens.
has sentience. It's
Sapiens,
more. I'm
sapiens.
talking about the higher. I'm talking about the higher capacity of intelligence, like we are having right now in this debate.
I don't know. I feel like this conversation's been pretty stupid so far.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you're one half of the conversation.
And if there's anything I've noticed in my 100 and something years of life, it's that conversations
okay,
with me
Boomer.
tend to be fairly stupid.
At least you're self-aware. To be
course.
fair, he can also be pretty stupid, as he flaps one of his wings in the direction of Refacule.
What sort of stupid stuff has he done?
I'm not at liberty to talk about that right now. He'll de-summon me if I do.
Well, how's he supposed to know?
Because he's still awake. I can sense when he rests.
Do you mind if we talk about times when you've been stupid?
Ugh. Whatever.
That wasn't a no, it was closer to a yes.
Well, there was the time he met his first love. That was a funny time. She actually had a kid before she met him.
What were their names?
He pauses and looks into the distance. I don't remember. And neither does he.
Okay.
Like he said, the memories are fragmented.
I have opinions and thoughts and feelings.
And I'm just doing my best to figure out, what's not been fragmented so that maybe we can, piece something back together.
I mean, heck, I'm the only chatty familiar amongst the three of them.
What are the other two?
One's basically a souped-up displacer beast, and one's a big, hulking golem that just screams and, roughs.
No wonder you're the one he prefers to have around more often.
Seamus, go to sleep.
Seamus is ear against the door. Seamus isn't asleep yet.
Seamus,
To be fair, though, they also have a more temporary existence. He can only summon them and they last a certain amount of time.
so
There was originally 4 of us, but one of them died. One of us died.
I thought you couldn't die.
Well,
Does that mean does that mean Refacule got over the trauma that formed it?
no, it's more so that when we appeared into existence at the same time as he did in the Land of the Dead, while we were formed from him, we weren't connected to him initially. We then entered a pact, hence our then immortality.
Right.
The one that was still, before it merged, before it ever accepted the pact, didn't want to, and, that's when we found out what would happen if we didn't accept the pact.
Okay.
Very gruesome.
I imagine so.
Very embarrassing, honestly. He got waterboarded to death.
Ooh. Did it just, happen, or did somebody do it?
Someone did it to him.
Who?
There was some ruffians. It was before Refacule even had
Waterboarding is not meant to be lethal.
Seamus, please go to sleep.
No.
Well, it is when, the creature in question doesn't have proper lungs, and also, like... Oh god, what was he even based on? Because I'm a bird, and we have a displacer beast, and the other one was a golem.
Bone
He was
claw?
kind of a bitch, so I barely even remember what he was based on. Oh, it was a spider.
Ah, okay.
Spiders can swim.
Yes, but they can't breathe underwater.
I know. I'm just joking around right now.
He
just being the annoying guy in the other room.
He just squawks at the door.
Seamus, don't make me cast sleep on you.
I can't sleep. I'm too excited.
But anyway, as I was saying, yeah. But even then, the thing is, even ourselves won't last forever. Even if we never accepted the pact, we would have eventually faded away into nothingness anyway.
Hmm.
It's just that when it's into death anyway, at the end of his fragile existence, we'll also go with him.
Hmm. Well, that's, you know... That's the thing, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I
Yeah.
can't imagine it's a very common occurrence, so...
No, I imagine not. I mean, I don't know many beings that have been formed from some nebulous trauma.
Children.
Okay, no, you've got a good point there. You've got a good point.
I always have good points. Someone has to be between him and I.
So how long do you think I have to know you before I can ask about your origin?
He shrugs.
I mean, I don't want to keep asking, that feels rude, but if I could, you know, figure it out, if I could have a set number of days or hours, preferably, because I don't know how long, you know, we're going to be hanging about.
Is this how you talk to your friends?
Yes. I feel like it makes things clearer.
How many friends
Can
do you have?
confirm.
Well, I've got Seamus, I've got Aldane, I've got Dairon, I've got Rua, I've got Akra, I think. I have had Kuro.
Don't forget about Ration.
Got,
Ration's your bestest buddy.
got Ration.
And that one satyr.
We don't talk about the Seder. Even if I do have to thank the Seder because his horn saved my ass, we don't talk about the Seder.
Well, in any case, it's not up to me, it's more up to him. He flaps his wing in the direction of his master.
Okay. Well. Like I said, it'd just be helpful to know. You know, I'm quite a knowledgeable person. I read history. You know, maybe I can figure out who you are.
Sounds like you're also a nosy person.
I mean, I feel like my nose is pretty small compared to the rest of me.
You don't just cast fucking legend lore?
I already did. It didn't come up with anything.
Yeah, then what's the point in asking us? If legend lore didn't work, clearly we aren't interesting enough to be noticed, like noted down in the annals of existence.
I mean, I'm not hugely experienced with the spell, but I'm not necessarily sure that's how it works.
Well, you know, he's a magic caster. He's been around the block. I have his memories and his experiences, so I'm technically an experienced sorcerer myself. So, you know. Whatever. I don't really give a shit.
I mean, this was sort of the first time I used legend lore, so I don't really know what the, you know, like...
Why don't you use it on someone else as a frame of reference, then? Or get someone else to use it if you're that like, I don't know.
Sure, why not? I'll cast Legend Lore for Akrua.
You know, one sec, I've got to open up the Legend Lore spell.
I'll send it to the chat.
Okay. So, you know that Akra came from the continent of Soramu? His birthplace was an unknown forest in the land of Teltakira, which is basically the capital city, well, the capital country of elves on that continent. He was then taken in by the Temple of the Four Elements until he left by the age of 18 when his master was killed by Etienne, an assassin from Beauvetement. He then travelled south to the continent of Tyrell and eventually became powerful enough that he fought the assassin who killed his master, but spared her. There's then other, like, bits of his history that you would have known, having been taught about anyway.
Yeah. Or that he's or that he's just told me.
Yeah. But yeah, you get, like, a lot of detail. You don't get static like you did with Refacule.
Okay.
You don't have... The interesting thing is, though, and you would know the spell because you've got it, and so would Seamus, static shouldn't be a thing that happens. You should either get no info or get some info.
That means there is info, but it's being blocked somehow.
What Seamus said.
I have opinions and thoughts, and I believe Bill knows what I'm barking at.
What Seamus said, even though he shouldn't be able to hear my thoughts.
Yeah, it was more out of character.
I'm gonna...
I mean, look, if if you ever want to share anything like this with me, then I'm happy to listen. I feel like I'm a good listener. Disembodied voice of Seamus, am I a good listener?
No.
I was going to say the one time he just doesn't speak. Would have been funny if he just didn't say anything.
Let's pretend I did that.
Well, in any case, I don't know. I'm going to have a rest as well. I don't need to sleep, but sometimes it's nice being comfortable. And he just flies over to the open bed and just lays on it, like on his back, wings spread. You don't need this bed, right?
Technically, no.
Oh, good. And then he just starts snoring really loudly as his eyes close.
I love this bird. I want this bird forever.
So here's the thing before you go fully to sleep. The point was that you'd stay awake.
Oh yeah, true. And then he just closes his eyes again and starts snoring.
Alright, well, if you're fine with dying because I'm trancing as well, then go right ahead.
And so, as you rest, I'm gonna call this a session.
Alright.
Bill, do you think who it is?
I don't know who you think it is. There are suspicions in my mind of who it could be.
Okay.
But I'm not like certain of anything.
Yeah, I deliberately, pointedly didn't want Dyron especially being in the same group as Refacule, because Dyron would potentially find things out because of good insight.
Yay, meta lore.
I'm metal ore.
But yeah, that's the sesh. I hope you enjoyed it. I know I did.
Yep.
I don't necessarily think so.
Oh, you DM'd him, right? I was
Yeah.
wondering. I thought you were saying that in response to me saying I hope you enjoyed it. I was like, oh, you didn't enjoy it? Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know. I was genuinely worried.
No, definitely. I enjoyed the session, but yeah, I
Oh,
don't.
good.
I don't necessarily think that that's the case again. Just based on, if nothing else, class stuff.
True, but
You know, it could just be kind of messing with us.
Oh my god.
everything okay over there, buddy?
David Zaslav
Of course.
Oh, what did you do this time?
had a hand in why the Uzumaki anime is the Uzumaki anime.
Yep. Saw that.
It's
That's
his
not
fault.
surprising.
Yeah, nowadays Zaslav is an asshole and a piece of shit.
Anyway, on that cheery note, that is the end of the stream as well. So thank you everybody for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed. In terms of future stuff, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sundays, as always. Please do give us a follow here on Twitch and all that YouTube stuff.
Like and subscribe, comment down below, press that bell icon.
Otherwise, hopefully we will see you on Tuesday. Good night.
Later.